Hey everyone, it's Jen here from Tarot Spirit, and those of you who are been with my channel for a while, you may have noticed that I haven't posted a reading since I'm not sure if it was November or December. Yeah, I think I went through kind of a spiritual awakening or huge transformation. I would say definitely Eight of Swords energy coming out of that, about some things in my life. And I think I've been mourning. I've had a lot of people pass, and so I don't know. And my computer died. But anyway, maybe I'll do a whole video. You're here for some cards, and I am shuffling. And let's see what we get. At the bottom of the deck, we have this beautiful Strength card. And this is all about vulnerability for me. And that is what takes, the most strength, is being authentic, being vulnerable. We all gaslight people all the time because we're too afraid to just share what we're really thinking or feeling. And we're afraid of, our egos are afraid of rejection, right? So the Strength card is in a very gentle way saying, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. Just keep swimming, put yourself out there. Even if there's fear around it. And sometimes you need to push through, and this is the tough thing. How do we know when that time is, when we should just keep swimming and when we need to push ourselves to do something? And some surrounding cards these other cards hopefully will help fill in some of the information here. Yeah, and when do you say, come on, forcing yourself to push through something, that's strength too, it's so. All right, beautiful. The Hermit, another major arcana. This is Virgo energy. This is soul searching. Yeah, something. So, yeah. This is when this card comes up, this is a time when you may be soul searching. Sorry, my computer died, so I'm using this camera stand with my phone. And in usual Sag fashion, I didn't really plan I was going to do this, and I probably should have. Fuck. All right, fuck it, that's good enough. Yeah, it's those times in life that are a spiritual awakening, and that happens when you do your soul searching. Something you have to sit with yourself, just yourself, and have a heart to heart, and really listen to what those things that we tend to press down that make us feel vulnerable, what is that telling you? What is your soul trying to, your spirit trying to get your attention about, or has been, and it's finally coming to the surface? It's like you can just hear it. You have to be quiet, but if you sort of lean in, you can hear it, but you sense it's there. It's that type of a moment, like a very distant knock, like someone just knocked on the door, and then you seek. The Hermit is seeking to find the wisdom, or to listen to what his intuition is telling them, to be able to navigate and come out of this understanding. It's like, the experience you're going through is trying to teach you something, and it's just like being still enough and looking within. And that's the within part is really important. It doesn't mean you don't talk about things that are catalysts to people. It's not Fight Club. We don't have to, But the real inner work, that's a conversation again within yourself, within your soul, your spirit, your energy, to figure out. And when you move forward from these types of experiences, and they could be big or small, right? It doesn't have to be losing a loved one, or losing a job, or getting laid off, or I don't know, some medical bill that bankrupts you. Those are, especially the death, obviously, are catastrophic. But it could be standing in the grocery store and this little kid is talking to their parent and says something and it just catches you. A song lyric. For whatever reason, it gets through at that point. Wow. Victory. Yeah, it's like, so I don't know if I have some athletes out there, or maybe you're in school, or there's some big project or some big push, and you maybe quit or withdrew or took a pause somehow on something. That could be a part of your life. Pause on dating, pause on certain friend groups, or I'm not sure. But again, it's something that was the catalyst for deep spiritual a step forward. But it feels like a leveling up, at least, if not more than one level. There is victory, or maybe there was a tough situation that to navigate really almost broke you, but really became a breakthrough. And you now there's so much confidence that comes from being vulnerable, working through whatever the consequences of that vulnerability are, and growing from it. You know what I mean? Three of Swords. So for some of you, it was heartbreak, or something that hurt the ego. I feel like this is a real ego death. Let's pull some more cards. So tell me what's been going on with you guys. I know I have some core viewers out there, and if you catch this, I would love to hear how you guys have been. Maybe I'll do a free reading giveaway. And being a Sag, this was completely spontaneous. I didn't know. It's been in the back of my mind, but I didn't know I was going to do a reading again for the first time, or at least a public reading. So I don't have a plan. So if you have any ideas of things you want to see, just let me know. So at the bottom here of this next deck, we have the Six of Swords. So another 6, and this has you moving from, it's like you've learned how to calm your anxiety more. So I don't know if maybe you've been to therapy or working with meditation or something, but able to, I almost see this as internally being able to go from rough waters to smooth waters, or you navigated some emotional turmoil or things that were tricky to deal with really, really well. Or you learned it wasn't, maybe that was the soul searching. Okay, I'm having all these feel like almost an intellectual. The swords are thoughts. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. This sucked. I didn't like how that made me feel. So I have bad feelings. How do I deal with those feelings? And the growth, you're so victorious because of this, because what you learned from whatever the situation was will benefit you for the rest of your life. Wow, the magician. And I realize YouTube's gotten weird about nudity, or their filters are set super high or something. So I have to pay attention to that, and that's not something I had to pay attention to 6 months ago. So far, so good. The magician. It's all about, I just said ego death, but at the same time, it's all within us. What we do with our lives, how we behave, how our outlook on life. And you know what's cool? In the strength card here, you can see this glow, this, like, to me, it's like maybe the crown chakra, but it's like intuition, knowing, or your soul or something. But it's, to me, it's wisdom and knowledge. And that's what you gain from the Hermit and a dark night of the soul. 9 of coins. Some of you maybe have been 9 of Pentacles, been really successful in parts of your life, and realizing that you because you could be successful in certain areas, you leaned into it and really let areas that you have to admit now are important, and like maybe you leaned into work and you really ignored relationships. I feel if that's true, there's trauma around that, and healing that trauma, having the strength to do that soul searching and to push through and navigate this, and yeah, potentially risk the 3 of Swords, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the hurt, the truth, which can sometimes sting. I just keep getting someone with that 6 of Swords navigating the waters. Wow, the world. I mean, yep, whole new turn on the spiral. And the Magician is that new beginning. Yeah, every day the world looks a little different from now on. Whenever you find this video, it's timeless. You see, you truly, you literally feel like you're looking a little bit out of different eyes, because you're approaching the world from that different perspective, that in some ways it's like you're seeing some things for the very first time, or they seem, it's almost makes them interesting. Like, you're so much more aware of the world, because as you're walking around with this new perspective, each situation takes on a different, I guess, perspective. But I don't know, it's almost like you're experiencing it for the first time. I'm repeating myself. Communication, fast movement. Once you've kind of got this and you're like, I got it, I'm good. I love this, because to me, this isn't like ego based. This is a surrender, I get it, I got it, I figured it out. figured it out and I pushed through it. And so the Six of Wands is, a win, getting credit, but it's also giving ourselves credit. There's so many things that we struggle with, probably most things that people don't know about, we don't talk about. And then, so we're the one, and we're not going to get a certificate for it or money for it or any sort of credit for it whatsoever. So we have to count those wins ourselves, right? Yes, something is that, yeah, that it's so strong that this just a new way of life, a new way of looking at things. Like this is really transformative. What date am I doing this on? Okay, so that I'm gonna title this the new moon in shit, it's Cancer, right? The new moon in Cancer reading. Yeah, we're still in Cancer. So that makes a lot of sense because there was definitely some emotional, feeling of emotional things that we needed to work through, and that we had to be really brave and authentic, not gaslight ourselves or other people, and sit in that energy. And again, it's just going to pay off exponentially for the rest of our lives. It was that big of a lesson. So that's your reading. Hi to everyone. Thanks for welcoming me back, and let me know what kind of readings you would like to see from me. Thank you so much. Take care.